Yeah. My name is Raj, Chelvaraj. I'm from Bangalore, India, but I live close to Delhi now. I work with an organization called Leader Source. It's based out of US, and I'm the director for Leader Source in India. And our focus is on building healthy leaders. And we address two questions: who is a healthy leader, and how do you build one? And so the whole workshop is model driven. It's not principles on leadership, it's not motivational talk, it's not 101, 301, 601 leadership stuff, but it's a model to give clarity for people who is a healthy leader. So then we go into the first part of the model, that the healthy leader is growing in Christ, in supportive, accountable community, where his character is refined and built, where his calling is clarified, and his competencies are built. And the process of how do you build a healthy leader is through the four dynamics: through spiritual, relational, experiential, and instructional. So this is our template. So basically, our whole workshop is around these 9 words. So what it does is it gives them clarity of how to build, say, Christ using the four dynamics. And the way to remember the four dynamics is the word RISE, RISE: relational, instructional, spiritual, experiential. So spiritual is connecting with God, experiential is life, relational is people, and instructional is truth. So we have activities around each of the 5 C's and the four dynamics. That's what we call it. And we show them how to design their own learning experience or curriculum based on their need. So for example, you want to build children, healthy children, they need to be growing in all 5 C's. But through the four dynamics, because Jesus, he called the disciples to be with him, relational, he sent them out, experiential, to preach, instructional, to drive out demons. So even in that one passage, you see again all four dynamics. Even the way you were built, if you look at your own life, you'll notice that God built you through these four dynamics. It's not just one dynamic. So our training program, our whole approach is you shouldn't just focus on instruction, because instruction alone does not build people. You got to use all four dynamics. It's like swimming. I didn't know swimming. My wife knew swimming, and so she taught me. She gave me a lot of theory, but until I jumped into the pool, this was about 6 years ago, I didn't learn swimming. Same thing with cycling. You actually get on the cycle and then you start riding. So in a similar way, you got to use your knowledge in the experiential dynamic where it becomes very real. So in the simple 5C 4D approach, we're able to show people a pathway to build healthy disciples, healthy leaders. That's our basic model. That's what we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the area of the big theme is disciple or die.
Yeah.
How does a healthy leader, let's say a nurturer who
Mm-hmm.
becomes a healthy leader, should disciple the 414ers?
Mm-hmm.
What is the method? What they should do?
Yeah, see, when we talk about nurturers, in our context, the way I interpret it is, how do you build healthy nurturers? Because if you're not healthy and growing, not perfect, then how can you build others? So the call is for nurturers, right, in the 414 window, to come alongside younger, brothers and sisters, to be responsible for them, where you can't just turn around and say, I'm not responsible. The vision is there, but our approach is it gives a pathway to show who a healthy leader or a nurturer is. He's growing in Christ, community, character, calling, and competence. So that's how I would define a healthy nurturer. So if he has clarity in that, he's able to pass on to others what he's learned.
Okay. Is there any time lapse or duration? I mean, for a nurturer or a leader to learn until they become a healthy leader, is that countable or depends on progress.
No, we basically put people to work right away. That's what Jesus did with his disciples. You know, he didn't wait for 3 years. He didn't sit them down and said, "I'm God, you're not. Listen to my theology." You know, but what he did was he called them to himself and he sent them out immediately. You know, they were floundering. They made mistakes. He gave them feedback. So in our model, what we encourage people is to do it immediately. So, yes, you know, there is time for you to keep growing. But because we don't just focus on instruction alone, so there's no like something like classroom time. So you spend 1 year in the classroom, then you go to the relational dynamic, then you go to the experiential dynamic. No. What we do is it's interwoven right from day one. So they actually know and they do it right away. It's learning and doing at the same time. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite Bible verse that you can relate to what your ministry is doing right now?
Yeah. For me, it's Hebrews chapter 13, verse 7. It talks about, you know, pray for your leaders, look at their life, their message, and then follow them. So I think when we say who a godly leader is, what do we mean by that? You know, so for me, this gives clarity. We build godly leaders, healthy godly leaders, through these 5 C's and 4 D's. Because it's not just about theory, it's not about just principles, it's about life, it's about role model, it's about what you do with the people, not to them. So, leadership for me is what you do with your leaders. And as you do, you let them see the mistakes, you know, you let them see all your hang ups, your weaknesses, and they grow. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Chelvaraj, thank you so much for your time.
Great. Thanks. Thank you.